All right. Well, if you are going with the flow today, I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to start back in our yoga space in a wide stance. So, excuse me. As you move back into your space, let's have our mats the long ways facing the screen to begin. And then you can either switch your mat the other way, or you can just turn to your side for the rest of class. But this way we can see each other. You can see me and I can demo some things for our warm-up today. So as you get your feet positioned about 2.5 body widths wide, we'll soften into our knees. And as you do, take a peek down towards your toes. The toes are turned out so that your knees, as you bend them, are about in the middle of your feet. As they bend, they pull right to those middle toes. All right, that's a good, safe place for us to begin. Sweep your arms to the sky. Press your palms up and overhead. Try to extend your fingers up to the ceiling. As you exhale, cross your wrists, re-squat through the knees, and take another big rise. Stretch to the sky, but we're going to take a tiny tip to the left and back through the center. Arms fall. Rise again. As you press, you'll tip to the right. We're just super gently warming our bodies. Inhale, center. Exhale, release. Let's take a little bigger tip this time. We're trying to hold onto our right forearms or the wrists, and then we'll soften our knees as we bend over so we feel this sense of pliability moving out of our lower half. Come on back to the center. Open the arms. Let them sweep down and re-rise. Tugging on our left forearms or wrists, a little softer in the knees, and then we'll try to elevate our bottom left ribs away from our hip bone. Back through the center as you inhale, arms release. Take another big stretch to the sky, 5-pointed star, arms open in a big V. And then as we stay here, we'll clasp our hands behind the low back. Let's see if we can offer our hearts towards one another. You send your heart to me and I'll send mine right back to you. Pressing the knuckles down towards the ground to really peel your collarbones and your sternum open wide. Big breath in here. As you exhale, wrap your knuckles around the left side of your ribs. Let's move into our right shoulders. And then we can take a tiny squat just to give the knees a break. Send your left ear off to the left side, but we'll try to elevate the earlobe first and then take a gentle tip. Softening in your facial features. If you feel this clenching in your jaw, see if you can release that. Back through the center, a little stand out of that bent knee. Stretch knuckles down again. Take a big in-breath to spread your chest wider. Exhale, wrap around your right side body. Tiny little bend here. We'll lift the right earlobe and send it off to the right side. Rechecking in with our facial features, making sure that we have a pleasant expression, or maybe even neutral, but not a grumpy expression on our face. Try to relax around those lines that we do when we're focusing on our computers or our task at hand. Elevate the nose again, stretch the knuckles back, sweep your arms to the sky, and then take a hold of each hand. We call this lover's hand, so we'll take a little clasp with your hands right overhead and soften back down into a bigger squat this time. Stay on top like you're making a little halo here. We're just going to circle a bit through the arms. Let's travel all in one direction to begin. And ungrip your toes. Do they feel like they were clawing on the yoga mat? Just let them be free. Switch your circling directions. Sometimes I like to lift my toes, spread them wide, and give them a little wiggle. So we're using the balls of our feet, the blades, and the heels. Try one more circle. All right, so think of this as a big heavy sword overhead. We're gonna move really slowly. Bend a little deeper into your legs and watch me for a round unless you're familiar with doing this with me. We're gonna sweep all the way to the right. Behind, take a big sword strike to the right. Watch again if you need to. We're gonna switch directions. Sweep left, all the way around, and take a big sword strike to your left. Notice I'm bending into whichever knee my body is heading. So as we circle to the right knee will bend. As we circle to the left, Our left knees will bend. How about breath, yogis? Inhale as you begin your circle. Exhale for a sword strike. Inhale and exhale. Now, as you're joining me, if it gets to be too much with your hands clasped, I feel like that's a little bit more intense. I have a great modification for you, moving through your arms. I would love for you to be moving into your internal and external obliques. Can you see my body moving around here? Yeah. But if it's too much, come back to a little side bend, remove the body, unclasp the hands, and just make it a little smaller. We're doing what feels good for us today. This is our moment to reinvigorate ourselves, to treat ourselves for some tender, loving care. So if you don't agree with something, make a change so it feels right for you, please. Okay, let's go for 2 more really big sword swings. We're getting so strong with these swords. And as you come back to the center, reopen the arms wide. Bring your hands to your inner thighs with fingers facing down. And let's slide them to the knees to give a little boost out. We're taking the knees towards your pinky toes to give more space for the inner thighs. With your fingers facing down, dip your left shoulder towards the floor and take a little peek over the right shoulder. Try again the other way. We'll move slowly for these first 2. Right shoulder dips, eyes move left. Inhale, switch sides, and now we'll move at the pace of your beautiful breath. Exhale, switch sides. As you dip the shoulder, give a little extra boost into that inner thigh. I love a big open mouth exhalation during the beginning of class. That can really help you clear any old, stale, stagnant energy and fill up with new, fresh life force. One more round, my friends. Inhale one leg. Exhale the other. Come on back to the center. Roll yourself to rise. Turn your toes forward and either heel toe in or feel free to bend your knees and take a little hop. Felt good. I like that little toe heel. Arms come by your sides. Take another big breath in. Let's begin moving through some sun salutations. Exhale, reach fingers to the floor, drop chin, and articulate your spine as if you are a rag doll. Rolling down, one little vertebrae at a time, curling you down to forward fold. When you have arrived in forward fold, let's make sure we're at the tops of our mats together so we have room to step back. We're gonna lift halfway here. Breathe in, fingertips find your shins. If you're really feeling tight in your hamstrings, you'll bend your knees as much as you need to feel that you can fold over successfully. Releasing through exhale to forward fold. Inhaling and sliding your right leg all the way back, my friends. Let's let your right knee, shin, and top of foot fall. We're just gonna get super heavy in the hip here for a minute. Try to let it come forward and down. We'll be back a bunch more, I promise. Let's slide left knee back, finding a tabletop. Knees about hips width distance, fingers widely spread, and hands just about under your shoulders. Exhale with me, my friends. Curl your back to the sky like a spooky cat shape. Let your stomach drop to the floor. Lift your tailbone on the top of your head as you inhale. For our cat, we'll exhale, round on up. The next one's called cow. When we drop our belly, this will be an inhale here. Press through the tops of your feet for your cat. Tuck your toes under for your cow. Inhale. Feet flat, cat. Toes tucked, inhale. As you neutralize your spine, look between your thumbs. We'll take a moment here just to take a breath from the tops of our heads to our tailbones. Walk your hands a bit forward towards the top of your mat, tuck your toes, and on your next exhale, lift your hips skywards for downward facing dog. Now, how do you feel here, yogis? If you're really, really tight in the back of your bodies, please bend your knees, let your heels rise, and press back through the palms. We're all gonna try to drive our noses towards our knees, chests towards thighs, and thighs to the wall behind us. Take another big breath in, any down dog you're enjoying. And then move with me, yogis. Let's bend our right knees. Straighten right, bend left. Switch for 2 more, slow motion, walk the dog. And pedal a little faster, something that feels really lengthening for the back of your thighs, alternating these bends and straightens. One more each way. As you settle back into a comfy dog of choice, take a look towards your thumbs and roll your body forward into plank, but please drop your knees. So we modify a plank by dropping knees on diagonal from our shoulders. If you don't need the modification, elevate your knees again. Take a big breath in your plank, wherever you are. Be proud of the strength you're building. I'm very proud of you for making it to yoga today and taking such good care of yourself. When you're ready to exhale next time, bend your elbows. They'll be facing your toes as you surrender fully to the mat, lie flat. Let's press our toes super long. Sweep the fingers back towards the baby toes, but swivel your palms down to the floor with your thumbs facing out. And then if possible, keep swiveling. Your thumbs will be skywards as your palms face out. Are we good? All right, elevate the upper body by pressing through everything in connection to the mat. Your toes, your ribs, your hip points, maybe your thighs. Stretch back like you're trying to get a hold of your baby toes. We're lifting as much of the upper body as we can. One more big breath in as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, let the hands fall by your ribs, palms flat. Press yourself back to child's pose. Take a big stretch, yogis. Walk your fingers further forward, potentially even tensing your fingers to the pads, like you're trying to grip a softball in the palm of your hand. Can you feel this sense of energy coursing up through your armpits? You feel how they're getting hollow? Take a big breath into your arms. As you exhale, come back to tabletop, and I have 2 options for you. Exhale, rounding into your cat, inhaling through your cow again, just like before. Or for a challenge, yogis, tucking your toes and hovering your knees an inch or 2. For those of you who are taking the more stretchy option, keep on rolling your cat-cows. For those of us who are strengthening, we have an optional add-on. We're going to step back to plank and then forward again to our little hovering table. So we'll go back, back, still hovering as we step forward, back, and forward. Let's try 2 more rounds of whatever you are hopefully enjoying. Holding your tabletop or your hovering table. Set your knees back down. Walk hands forward. Lift your hips high. Take a big, beautiful breath in. Downward facing dog. Congrats on that hard work. Welcome back. Right leg will rise to your hips height. Give a flex through your foot and push long through the bottom of your foot. Look at your thumbs. Next exhale will guide your knee forward. Feel a little crunch under your body, and as softly as you can step, land between your thumbs. Sometimes we get stuck, right? We try to step and we're like, oh man, I only made it about my hip height. So grab with that right hand and keep stepping all the way forward, where we'll land our left knee, shin, and top of foot. So I personally like a little movement when I get somewhere. Ooh, this is intense, huh? If you've been sitting all morning, your hips may be feeling a little tight and cranky right now. We're gonna tend to them for a breath longer here. Feel free to settle into stillness if that's better for your body. Elevate your left knee, please. Step back forward or drag your foot forward. Find that fold with knees as bent or as straight as you enjoy. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let's reverse that ragdoll roll. Chin tucks to your chest, and we start the roll from the low back. Start to curl into your low back. Curl through middle back. Open up your shoulder blades. And then you'll feel like you're standing tall, and that's where we start to lift our neck. Really nice articulation for the spine. Good connection. Arms rise. Big breath in. Want to do it again? Me too. All right, let's turn the palms forward and then just swivel them back. A little rotation here. Do the same at shoulder height. So we're gonna drop thumbs up, and then we'll turn the thumbs down. Internal rotation as the thumbs turn down, and external as the thumbs roll out. Nice work for the shoulder socket. Reaching forward to me after that last twist of your shoulder, palms face up, shoulders wide, sinking into chair pose. Yogis, a wider chair will be more stable. You can come all the way close together if you'd like. Your big toes are almost touching and your heels are a little separated. Finding something that feels really good. Like you're serving a platter here. Reaching and lengthening as you sit back deeply. I love a reach forward because we can counterbalance and find a little more depth in our chair pose. One more breath in. Softly forward fold. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale to halfway lift. Slide fingers up the shins. If you don't need these fingers anymore for support, let's try reaching them behind us. Give ourselves a little flutter through the fingers. And as you exhale, release to the floor. Left leg slides back. Please continue kneeling lunges if those are better for your body. Otherwise, we'll try to keep that back leg lifted and rise overhead. Full lunge. The front knee will be bent to begin. Arms float skywards. Allow your arms to release down as you straighten both legs. And if it's really wobbly, you can keep your arms wide to the sides. Inhale, arms overhead as you release to lunge. Exhale, arms down as we stand to a really long pyramid. Inhale and exhale. Try two more. If you feel that you've stepped onto a tightrope, let's definitely widen our feet left to right for more stability. Inhale, exhale, landing in your pyramid with hands holding the outer waist. Step the back foot in so you feel steady. And then for more sturdy sensation, widen your feet. Once we get really tall and steady and confident, we'll take an exhale, leaning our bodies forward. Find like a halfway lift, yogis, and then re-rise. That's challenging, isn't it? Try an inhalation as you find the long torso forward. An exhalation as you lightly stand back up. One more. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, rise and shine. Arms reach to the sky. Fingers float down to frame your right knee as it bends. And then we'll drop left knee. Slide right leg back. Here we are back in our tabletop again. Same option as before. If you'd like to do a cat-cow again, please do. But if you'd like a little challenge, we're gonna lift your knees, just a hover, yogis. Like an inch, maybe 3. That's the lower, the better. More core work this way. And as you pause in your turbo tabletop, you'll try to lift your left heel towards your butt. Tap toes back down. Right heel towards your butt. We have 3 more rounds of whatever you are doing. No matter where we are, let's breathe. Unclench through the face. When you're ready, set your knees back down. Walk your hands forward. Lift hips high to downward facing dog. Take a big open mouth sigh. Let that go. Great job, my friends. Widen your feet a little bit to the left and the right, please. Reach your right hand under your body and try to tap your left outer leg. Wherever you can, just kind of reach for it and then release back down to dog. Same with the left. Left arm under, reach outside the leg and release. We'll try that twice more. Big breath in, big breath out. In. Last time each side. Really nice job. When you're back to dog, let's step our feet together and we'll take a big old breath in to roll ourselves to plank. Remember, your knees can come down, hanging out here for a breath. On your next exhalation, we'll descend. Elbows face your toes. Wipe the toes or push them way far back. Send the fingers back again. Remember how we rolled? Palms down first and then palms out to the sides. Thumbs up for yoga. Stretch back towards your baby toes just as before, but we'll add on, yogis. Toes, knees, and thighs rise. If you feel a pinch in your low back, consider widening your feet. Big breath in your full locust. Expect that you'll probably lift and lower because you're floating on your belly here as you breathe. One more. And release, hands down by your sides, toes soft. Whew, that was tough stuff. Press back, child's pose. Run your child's pose. Come forward, table. Toes tucked, downward facing dog. Take a second to stretch out if you feel like you need to. Wiggle around or enjoy some stillness. In your time, on an inhalation, let your left leg rise. Take a big push at hip height with your foot. Back, back, back. Look forward, crunch knee under body, and let's see how softly we can land right in between our thumbs. You know what to do if you got stuck. You'll grab with your left hand and slide your foot forward. Bending both knees to help you rise to lunge. Inhale. Exhale, let the arms fall, but straighten your legs. Both knees bend, arms rise. Softly straighten your legs as your fingers reach down. Remember, we can reach to the sides if you feel super wiggly and off balance. We'll try two more. All right, a little extra credit on this side. As you find your pyramid pose, make any adjustments that feel good. For example, you could step your back foot in, or you might like to widen your feet for more stability. Figure yourself out first so you're really confident as we start to fold. Let's take a breath in as we rise. Breath out for your fold. If you're really long in your legs, your back heel's probably lifted, which is a little bit more wobbly. If you've stepped forward, maybe your heel is flat. Either way, yogis, we're gonna try a little scissoring between our thighs to keep our hips really squared because they're trying to poke off to the left side. So we're gonna put a little invisible wall there and just give them a hug on it. One more big breath in. Full exhalation, reach to the sky, rebend your knees and float down. Try not to fall over. Float down to frame your left foot. Slide your right leg in. Take a soft landing in your forward fold. And when you're ready, my friends, sink back into your heels. Sit in your invisible chair. Reach the arms anywhere. Earlier we did forward. I'm going to go to the sides this time. Sitting a little deeper, this one's a bit more challenging without the arms forward. Do you see? Try. I think it's so much easier when they're here. So we'll give ourselves a little challenge. Perhaps you even want to extend overhead. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, can you sit any deeper? There we go. Forward fold again. Reverse ragdoll. Let's roll through the spine. The slowest person to mountain pose is the winner. Breathing and opening space in your spine. That felt awesome. Shoulders up, back and down. Sweep your arms to the sky. Beautiful job. Let's find another forward fold. Halfway lift. And as you breathe out, yogis, we'll slide your right leg back to warrior one, landing the whole foot flat. And we just spiral the right toes out a little bit to the right side. So as you rise overhead, your hips are attempting to roll towards your left big toe. If you find that very challenging, you could widen your feet. That's really helpful. Find a little tugging back with your left cheek as well. Reaching arms forward, right hand comes outside your left thigh, and the left arm will spin open, a little twisted warrior one. Now that left hip again wants to push out, so we're gonna keep squeezing in. Remember that little hug? Yes. Take a huge breath in, twisted warrior one. Maybe float eyes to left fingertips for a bigger twisting sensation. And as you exhale, come back to center. Arms rise. Turn your body to the right and let your right toes open out a bit more. Warrior two this round. Take a big breath in, warrior two. Exhale, deepen the left knee. Do you remember earlier when we worked on moving the knee towards your baby toe? Maybe you use your hands, or maybe you just use the power in your outer hip. Take a peek down. We want to see that left big toe. Then we're in good shape. All right, my friends. Finding our extended side angles today. Let's lean left, more. How long can you become from your ribs up towards your armpit? Okay, and when you've landed, wrap your right arm around your low back and take left hand to your right shoulder head. From here, we're trying to revolve the upper body. Now, as we revolve open, right shoulder behind us, our knee wants to follow. Bring it back out if you need to. You can even leave your hand there. And then roll your right shoulder behind you. Bring your left ribs to meet. Take a huge breath in. We'll try one more. I know this is a long hold. Be very proud of that strength. You're building up so strong here. Eyes back forward, arms wide. Re-straighten your shoulders over your hips. Straighten your left knee. Go. Reach your arms to the sky and reverse your triangle. Right arm falls. Left arm reaches as far to the right side as you want. Most importantly, we're giving ourselves that space and the release through the left leg. That was super fun and very strong. I love that. Are you ready to try the other side? Okay, let's move through. We're gonna find warrior two, swivel to the left, low lunge, or maybe it's a high lunge with the back knee lifted. Go right to dog. If you'd like, of course, you're welcome to stop by tabletop or child's pose. Hey, maybe you're like, I'm gonna get another turbo table in here. You go for it. Take a big breath wherever you are. Full exhalation. And if you're not there yet, please join us in down dog. Rolling forward on your inhale. Descending on your exhale, chaturanga. Everything is long and strong. Same setup as before. The only add-on is heels pulling towards your butt. Give a good flex of your feet and act like you're gonna reach and grab your feet. Trying one more breath in. Exhaling, release. Toes long, hands by your sides. Let's take a breath in child's pose. Really energizing the arms, meaning stretch them out long. Possibly tent your finger pads. Ooh, I love this stretch. Breathe into your armpits. Who knew we could do that? Make them feel really hollow and just fill them up with some energy. As you exhale, land the palms, shift to table. Lift your hips, find your down dog. Right leg will elevate. We're gonna give that big push again, yogis. Push out from your hips. Look to where you'd like to land and how softly can you step there. Followed by your left leg. Slide up to halfway lift. Release, forward fold. Reverse ragdoll roll. Take your time finding the sky. Stretch really high. Oh, that felt great. One final round, and then we'll start some balances. How about that? Okay, let's do this, yogis. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. No surprises. You've done all of the things we're gonna do. Exhale, forward fold. As you step your left leg back, we'll swivel that foot flat and roll ourselves to rise all the way up into warrior one. And it might take a sec for you to find it. I always think this is a really challenging position. So if you're on the tightrope, oh, it's tough to swivel hips. If you widen, you'll have a lot more ability to move left hip point forward. Sweep your arms forward to me. When you're ready, right arm will open as the left hand finds your right outer thigh. How about that breath? Really big as you swivel eyes to right fingers and reach further back with your right fingers. One more big breath in. Give a little pull back with your right cheek to square your hips. Coming through the center, inhale. Twist to your left with your torso. Turn your left toes out a little bit more, and we'll settle into our warrior twos. Excellent job. Take a peek at your right big toe. If you don't see it, you're just going to give a little tiny assist, self-assist, moving the knee to the right side. All good? All right, extended side angles, reach right. Not enough, let's reach more. I know we've got some hidden up our sleeve. Let's reach more. Beautiful, left arm low back, right hand, shoulder. So we're doing this to remind us, hey, left shoulder, push, 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 push back. Bring your right ribs to me without compromising that really beautiful length on your right inner thigh. We're here to breathe. Breathing in confidence. Exhaling with gratitude that we have the opportunity to do this work today. Almost done, and we get that amazing stretch. Don't forget, you can do this. Bring your eyes back to me. Open your arms, right the shoulders over the hips, straighten your right leg. We made it. Reach to the sky and then float anywhere. I like a reverse triangle because you've just gotten really strong on that right side, so it feels great to stretch it out. So great. One more big breath in. It's our final vinyasa, friends. Ready? Come on down. Windmill the arms. Lift your left heel as you find your low lunge. Find your down dog when you can. We're hanging out for 2 breaths, so there's no rush. When you're ready to breathe in next time, let's take a roll forward. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging this time, we can press to our tiptoes, shoulders in front of wrists, descending the same way. Reaching to any of the above, we did our upper locust, we did our full locust, and then we did our, I call them a parachuter. Like we've pulled the parachute as we've skydived and we found this beautiful floating body shape. Whatever back bend you're doing, big inhalation through it. As you exhale, release, my friends. Press back, child's pose. Find long, long arms. If you find that you always do the same knees, let's change them. Maybe you touch your knees together. Maybe you widen them way far out and let your stomach fall between them. Just do something a little new and fun. Finishing this up, palms come flat, eyes look forward, shift to table. Toes tuck, rise to down dog. Inhalation, left leg rises. Look where you'd like to land, step forward to your lunge. Let your back foot come in, forward fold. Any way that you'd like to rise. We've been rolling, but you could also lift halfway, sweep arms to the sides and reverse swan dive to rise. We did it, all the strength is done. Don't take yourself too seriously for balancing, okay? Because, sometimes we wobble and we fall. We just dust it off, we giggle, we come back. It's no big deal. It's just yoga. Come with me, my friends. Lifting up through the palms, about heart center. And we're going to lift our left heels. Take a big squat through your right leg. Ultimately, this left heel will rise. So we're trying to move into single-legged squats. We'll just give ourselves support for the first one. Scoop up. Left heel lifted, sit deeply. Press everything back behind you. Left toes included, airplane pose. Take a big breath in. We're gonna flow through. So we're not gonna hold anything for too long. Rise to knee lift, arms overhead. Without using your hands if possible, open up into tree. Put that left foot anywhere. If you've got slippery pants, it might not stay where you thought it would. No worries, we're moving to willow tree. Leaning to the left. Or if you're in a beachy mood, maybe you're a palm tree. Back to the center. Lift your left knee again, finish the side and star pose. So that's our sequence, yogis. Wide and long in your stars. Set everything down. All right, we'll go through a few more times and then we'll try to move it with breath. Lift your right heel. Last time we're gonna lift just the heel. Next time will be the whole foot. So you scoop your arms to shoulder height, sink down into your left knee. Single-legged squat style. Nice. Reach back, airplane pose, through the toes, through the fingers. Square the hips and try to bring your chest parallel to the floor. Rise to tree. We're moving quickly, so if it's just like too much to try to lift high, do a little right toes down like a kickstand tree. Willow tree. Always gonna tip towards the bent knee in our willow. Rise and shine star pose, lean left, open yourself up, breathe into your legs, celebrate your width, step down softly. Okay, shake everything out. We're gonna try to move with breath. Your breath is your speed, so don't move with me. Find an inhale, move one way, and exhale, move the other way. It's the same thing we just did. No tricks, okay? Lift your left knee, single-legged squat. So I'm gonna breathe in to lift the knee, breathe out to squat. In to send everything back to airplane pose. Out to rise up. It's gonna take a second to find tree. So if it takes more than a breath or two, no worries. Lean on your next breath through willow tree. Coming back upright on a breath, sending your body into star on your next breath. Releasing to the ground to find the other side. Right knee rises, single-legged squat. What's a wiggly one? Come back to airplane pose. Take your time, yogis. Try to slow your breath down. That is a challenge, I know. When you're ready, it's a tree next. Once you found it, lean to your right, willow tree. Lean to your left, star pose. And we're gonna get really confident as we find it for a third time. This is it, yogis. Lift your left knee, single-legged squat. Press back, airplane pose. Rise to tree pose. Lean to your left for willow tree. Lean to your right for star pose. Release back to mountain pose. Let's find the last round. Right knee rises, single-legged squat. Left knee is doing the hard work. Press everything back, airplane pose. Floating seamlessly now, tree pose. Willow, star. Tap on down, release the arms, and have a little party for one. Shake out. Oh, that's such hard work. So I just like to let loose after a big balancing. We're so serious when we try to do that. So shake it out. Maybe you roll over the top of your toes. Whatever you want to do. Shake it high, shake it low, shake it forward, shake it back. Okay, we did it, my friends. Let's sit for hips. Take a spill forward and down to your fold. Any leg that feels good, we're gonna bend it and have a seat right on the floor for bound angle pose. Soles of our feet are together. We're just gonna give a little wiggle side to side so the sits bones are flesh free. And if you're very tight in your hips, they're poking to the sky, we're gonna let some support come under the knees, pillows or blankets, so we can ease in here. Taking a hold of the tops of our feet or our ankles, just bring your chest forward to me. Might feel a little back bendy here. Slide forward. Tuck your chin to your chest and round into your back. Ease down. Folding over our bound angle legs. Lengthening through the back body, breathing top of head to tailbone. Each exhalation allows gravity to take over a bit more. Soften it. Boost yourself back up, my friends, but please keep your legs. Let's walk the hands behind us. Since we folded, we want to give our stomach and chest the opportunity to reopen. So remember that when you set your hands back, listen to your elbows and your shoulders. If they don't feel good, move the fingers a different way so that as you uplift your chest, you get a really nice opening. Feels pretty good, right? The bigger we open, the more capacity we have to fill up with breath. Now you're welcome to just stay here. If you'd like to drop your head back, you can, as long as your shoulders are squeezing together. You have a little pillow waiting for you there. Keep your hips right on your yoga mat, or on your next exhale, push through the outer edges of your feet, squeeze through your butt, and see if you want to elevate your hips. Try another big breath in. Wherever you are is great. And on your exhale, let's drop hips if they were rising, tuck chins if your head fell back. Bring your your hands to your knees and close them. Stepping feet just outside hip width distance so you can sit up really tall. And then if you felt like you got some flesh folded under your sits bones, just give that little wiggle side to side so they feel really grounded. Nice job, my friends. Leaning back again. Work on those fingers. We want our shoulders to feel really happy and wide. Lift your left knee and cross it over your right ankle. That can be really challenging, so you might like to extend your right leg, then bring it back in. While you're here, I love a TikTok in figure 4. Do you like to move through yours? I don't know. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's like, oh, my back. So you have to just go with the flow on any given day. What we really want to do while we're in our figure 4s is consider pressing our left knees away from our chest, lifting our heart skywards, and if we want more, then we send our hips to the right knee. Yeah, closer to that heel, the bigger it is. Okay, let's go for another round of really nurturing breath. Send it all the way to your left outer thigh and your glute. Across your chest, collarbones, and shoulders. Now, yogis, we have a choice here. You can lift like this, or you can opt out of your lift altogether. So I'll just show you if you're not sure what I mean. We're gonna do the same thing we just did in bound angle. So if you're like, that's cool, but I don't wanna do it in figure 4, uncross your leg and do it in reverse tabletop. Just do what feels good. I like to do this because it opens up everything that we were just really smushed into, our front body. Release back down. You might like to scoot your butt back to give you space to uncross that leg. And if your wrists are getting really tired, take the backs of your hands down next to your hips and let your palms face up. So we get really wrinkly on the inner wrist and really stretched on the outer wrist. When you're ready for more, come back to me. It's our right leg. Our right leg crosses over the left thigh. Making sure our ankle's across the thigh so it doesn't feel pokey with the ankle bone. And then you know how to make all those adjustments to increase your sensation. Maybe a little ticking and talking if it feels good. Let's find one more breath. If you're planning on lifting, one more breath here in stillness. And if you're ready to lift with me, you'll either uncross your leg or keep it where it is, but any exhale will help you squeeze your backside and rise. Softening back down. You might even like to uncross your leg while you're lifted if you felt quite stuck there. Once you're uncrossed, you're going to scoot your hips all the way back. And we'll go one more time to bring the backs of our hands down. If it feels hard on the floor, you can put them on your thighs. It's really nice too. And when the wrists feel okay, your sits bones are clear of flesh, we'll take a big stretch to the sky. Let's bring our legs close to one another and flex through the feet to forward fold here. So if it's very challenging for you or slippery to hold your legs, you can hold the sides of your mat. I love this because although your mat gets all messed up, it's nice to pull your chest forward here. And we really have relaxed shoulders when we hold on down low by the side body. As you're stretching here, take a peek at your toes and make sure all 5 are facing you and the ceiling squared. So you don't have like a big toe poking in and all the rest poking out. Yeah? Good, nice and square. Then we ensure we're stretching fully across the muscle left to right. Let's aim for another breath here, but don't forget that if you're just loving any stretch or lots of them, you stay as long as you want. We don't have to move from here. Pretty darn good. I'm gonna rise and take you a little further through class, but if you're staying, enjoy. Right knee will slide up towards your chest. And once we find that knee in, we'll think about maybe crossing it over the thigh. We don't have to. But either way, we're squeezing right knee with left arm. We're gonna go for another twist. Let's get really energetic in that left foot. Keep pulling your squared toes to your left hip. We'll plant the right hand down next to us so that we can sit to our tallest selves. And we'll gently swivel our eyes to the right. To enhance this twist, or to make it more challenging, most likely, you can elevate your right arm, keep reaching back. Let's try another really big breath in here. And as you exhale, yogis will come back, both arms hugging your right leg. Move your body now to the left. We'll keep the legs. We're just going to move our hands inside the right knee. Let your right cheek rise and see if you can swivel your navel and your torso to the left, sending ourselves into a little counter twist here. Slide on back to the center. As you straighten your right leg, please elevate it. We're gonna try to hold it. So as we have a hold of this right leg, it could be anywhere, thigh, calf, maybe even your foot. It's a lot harder to do with the left leg straight. So if you need some extra boost to sit tall, bend your left knee. Option number 2 is to put the left hand down so we can really help ourselves sit tall, pulling out of the low back. All right, yogis, we are in our hamstring stretch, seated hamstring stretch. We're gonna stay here for a sec though. So get really cozy with that left leg. Whatever you need, you take. Let's cross the leg over our body. We'll use our left hand, pull it across the body. Now I prefer coming from the outside. And then again, we'll try to open the right arm. Take a little peek to the right side. Going the other way, switch hands, right arm open. We're gonna take the leg as far as we can. I'm gonna bend for this one because I feel like I need a little extra boost. And then the left arm swivels open, eyes to it. I took a yogi toe lock on this option. So I took my first 2 fingers, index and middle, and looped them around my big toe. Pushed the big toe into fingers so everything feels pretty good as I use that for a little self-assist to open more deeply. Come back to me with eyes, right leg, and are you able to release your hands and let that leg fall slowly? That's such a good strength challenge. Release by using the heel of your hand to your forearm on that thigh. And let's switch when you're ready. Left leg comes out. Get yourself situated with your bones, your sits bones free of flesh. Give that left knee a big hug in. Stay or cross over. Okay, just give it some love. Sit really tall, snuggle it towards your chest. Right arm gives it a hug. When you're ready to twist, begin with your left hand down, sit real tall. Swivel your eyes to the left. If we want more, we'll try to extend the left fingers. I always tuck my belly in a little tighter here, so I'll take my abdominals and try to think about my navel kissing my spine. And the more you tuck in there, the more you'll be like, oh, I can twist a bit more deeply. Next exhalation swivels us forward. We'll bring both hands inside the left big toe and then lift the left cheek, seeing how much we can swivel our torsos to the right side. Coming out of that counter twist and having a soft seat back down. Extending the left leg with a hold. Now remember, it's going to be easier to sit tall if we bend our right legs. For the challenge, we'll keep it straight. Any hold is good. And if you're really struggling to sit out of your low back, you feel very round there, put your right hand down. Try that. You're doing great, my friends. Let's switch hands. Right hand to the outer left leg. And remember, we can always use that hand down. Otherwise, left arm is going to stretch open. Breathe through the outer left thigh. Switch again. Hand comes to the inner left something, or you can do those peace fingers around your big toe. Right arm moves either to the floor or open, and eyes will follow in that direction. As you come back to the center, can you release both arms wide while you soften? Good strength in your quad. Woo. All right, give it a little rub. Release that tension, or maybe use your forearm. Very, very nice, yogis. Hug your knees in wider than your chest this time. Let's do a little catting and cowing again. We're going to take a hold of the shins or the thighs. Round away from your knees. Catch first and exhale. Inhale, pull your chest through that window. I like a little looking up, and then I try to pull my tailbone up as well. Exhale, round. Inhale, cow. Finishing up here on this cow. And as you close your knees, let's let the legs straighten out one more time, finishing for my group that needs to leave early with a cross-legged forward fold. Let's go left ankle over the right, being really aware of that right knee. We softly bend it so it doesn't push out through the back of the kneecap. Stretch to the sky, inhale. Exhale, fold over. Here's where we're going to be really soft in that right knee. Trying another inhalation through this knee. I'm focusing more on my right leg. You should feel it pretty much everywhere. Low back, left leg as well, but the biggest stretch we'll find will be in the right back leg. Rise on up during that exhale. Let's lean back. Just give our chest some space to reorient itself, and then switch. Left leg down. Work on the back of this leg mostly. Take a stretch to the sky. I just like to tell you where you're stretching so you can focus your breath in that area. Taking your time to settle in here and rounding if it feels good, tucking chin, slowing down our breath, giving our breath the opportunity to catch up with us. We're always moving and grooving. Sometimes what we really need to restore ourselves is to slow back down. When you feel like that stretch is enough, let's use our hands to boost us up. Slide back through the hands again, let your chest open. Uncross your legs, and it's now 1:55, so if you have to go, we'll probably take a knee bend. Let the knees fall anyway. You can even do a bunch of those little tick-tocks, and then when you're ready, you'll roll to your table. Find your way to forward fold. Just make sure you're moving really slowly out of class so you don't get dizzy. But if you can stay, we'll hold on to our bent knees or our thighs, whatever works, and roll ourselves down to the yoga mats. As we get here, yogis, we're going to do the tiniest little sprinkle of core, and we're going to stretch our hamstrings again. So let's extend our left legs to the sky, and then bring your right knee to 90 degrees. Now, option as we move through to extend that leg so it looks like an open pair of scissors, but let's start a little easier. Take each hand to the outside of your left leg, there's one on either side, and start to pulse your fingertips towards the bottom of your yoga mat. Now, I like to lift my upper body, but if you do, try to keep your neck really long. You're gonna look to the spot where your ceiling meets your wall. It feels like you could extend your lower right leg. Let's challenge ourselves through these little scissor pulses. We're gonna go for 5 on this side. 3. Up and hold, stay right here. Just for 4 seconds, do you think you could bring your elbows by your ears? Big breath in. Let your head fall, tap your right toes down, and just hug in through your left leg. Hamstring stretch. Wasn't that worth it? A little hard work, and then a really lovely stretch sensation. Big breath in here. Okay, that feels good. Summer's approaching. We gotta get these bikini bodies on. Rebend the left knee now. That'll be at 90 degrees. Right toes skywards. One hand on either side of the right thigh. And we'll start to pulse as you uplift as much of your shoulders as possible. Neck is really spacious. If it's feeling like I got more to give, then we're going long in the left ball of foot. Push it away like a big open pair of scissors. 5. Tap your head down, left toes down, and hug your right leg in. Hamstring stretch, let your shoulders relax. If your neck is feeling tired, look to the left side, give it a nice little stretch. Look to the right side, give it a release. Eyes moving back to the sky. One more little squeeze on that right knee. Bend both of your knees and bring them to your chest. And then gently rock side to side. I like to rock, but also circle. So I'm going to make some big, lazy circles here. And if you do the circling with me, let's definitely remember to switch. Give a couple in the opposite direction. If something felt interesting, you're welcome to pause there. Just even like pausing heavy body weight on something in your back that feels bothersome will help it disperse or maybe just smooth out a prickly edge. And ultimately, we'll turn to whatever side feels best for the fetal position. Don't take a nap. I could take a nap here too, so I'm feeling it. We're gonna push through that. Use your top hand. Press down, turn to your tabletop. Shift back to that crouch, lifting knees, walking hands towards toes. Give a little love to your calves. And then elevate your hips, forward fold. As you hang heavy, choose a beautiful way to rise. Breathing back in with all of that confidence, with your newfound strength, coordination, balance, and flexibility. Breathing out with a whole bunch of gratitude. Hands to heart center in a simple yet so powerful gesture to our practice. Just bow to yourself here. You deserve that for making the time in your day to practice. I'm bowing to you. Thank you for practicing with me and allowing me to lead you today. Have a beautiful Friday and an even better weekend. Namaste.